person that you're using your business and subjecting yourself to regulation as a business. Not any of your, I don't know. I do know to say this. You won't be a guarantee that you're going to get in trouble. I'm just not so sure about that whole very strong or whatever. I just got thing that nobody else is claiming. And contact me if you want to form a society.
You can't name it. And unless and until you can name your society, you simply can't claim to be a member of one. It's absolutely ludicrous to attempt to do so. And look at some Supreme Court rulings, read some of them up. They will always make reference to, in a free and just society, but they never ever claim that you are actually a member of one or that the plaintiff is a member of one. They always circle around that. They never say in this free and just society. And if there was one in existence, they would mention it, but they don't mention it because it doesn't exist. If you were a member of a society, one of the standard things, and this is how you define all members of one singular society, it's the name. They can all exactly name their own society, whether you're in the Notary Public Society of British Columbia, the Law Society of British Columbia, the Association of Professional Engineers, business practice, and men of violence and anger will be employed by men of greed and power, with the ultimate end result being an absurd level of control, rejection of which will prove to be terminal. So here we are. Now, what I'd like you to do is learn to distinguish between the law and the statutes. And although they are similar and certainly related, and the statutes are limited by the law, there's really only 3 ways to break the law, and there's millions of ways to break statutes. And those 3 ways is to harm, damage, or do fraud. So if you live your life in such a fashion where you never do harm, you never do any damage to other people's property without their consent, and you never engage in fraud or mischief in your conscience, then you will be keeping the law. And what it boils down to is love, because love is the law. And if you simply live your life with love, you will find that you will go through it without doing any of these things quite naturally. Now, if we accept that love is the law, and the statutes are bound by the law, yet here's something very funny. What these people do in here, they want you in their society or under their society's control. They will codify the law, and they create a body of statutes. Now, some of it, they're just making up, and they decide for themselves, and they pull it essentially out of their hat. However, some of it is in fact merely them codifying what already exists as law. Now, suppose for a moment I write a book on the rules of hockey. Now, people have been playing hockey for hundreds of years, but I come along and I write a book, Rob's Rules of Hockey, and I see people playing hockey. Can I then claim, hey, you're playing my game because you're following my rules when all I did was codify previously existing rules? No. So what they've done is their body of statutes that they've created, some of it is drawn from the law, and some of it are merely statutes that are applicable within this body, within this house. And in this house, they look at you as a child because you have engaged in actions which were entirely voluntary, which identified you as an ignorant child, essentially, in the eyes of the law. One of the things you'll find, what I noticed when I was deconstructing the acts, one of the words I did not find in any of the acts was the word love. You don't find it in there. Love and compassion and truth were 3 words I looked for and couldn't find them anywhere in there. Do the love of the law, bound by them, and here's where it gets really messed up from the point of view of the law. They claim that these words which govern us only they can understand it, and we can't, because we're children. So if we want to know what any of these statutes and acts mean, and what they say, we have to go to them and accept their interpretation. Their interpretation will always be that they are in charge of the child, because that way they have the right. What if that child's rich? What if they're actually heir to a fortune? And because they demonstrate that they act like a child, this party gets to treat them like a child and gets to administer their fortune. You see why they try to get you to ignore the love and ignore from the love and from the law. Taking these lessons to consider themselves a class, and I'd be pretty flexible. Ability to do like soup a lot. I invented a new kind of soup. Ready? But you can't name it. And unless and until you can name your society, you simply can't claim to be a member of one. It's absolutely ludicrous to attempt to do so. But powder. Now, just because we have a class project does not mean that you do not have, all by myself, serve soup simultaneously project. And do something as simple and humbling as serving soup to those who are in need. Together simultaneously to deliver. I'd accept that it was served simultaneously. Comes from, well, there's no W in Latin. Administrator, acca. The accompany. Got the afterlife to deal with, huh? Ones in history. And now why are these people suffering and starving? Because this when the name of the trust, example John Doe, is called by
Gary
the judge,
Archer.
ACCA, administrator, ACCA, trustee, you can stand and ask, are you saying that the trust which we are now administering is the John Doe Trust, Your Honour? And you watch him turn white. The moment you, what's the word, in the moment you just show an inkling of that, and you watch him turn white. Well, John Doe is...
Let's say you have to go to court for anything.
When the name of the trust, example John Doe,
Or in my case, Gary Douglas Archer Jr. as depicted on my license, my official state ID, birth certificate, social security cards.
is called by the judge, ACCA, administrator, ACCA, trustee, you can stand and ask, are you saying that the trust which we are now administering,
Whether it be, say you're in the Brighton Town Court for a fucking having your license plate not where it's supposed to be, but in the front window or the back window, you can do this, or anything that doesn't involve breaking the 3 cardinal infractions, breaking the infractions of inhibiting someone else's liberty, harming them, or engaging in fraud. Whatever it be, traffic ticket, you can go to the judge and saying, are you trying to tell me, Judge, that the matter that we are here to hash out
is the John Doe Trust?
the Gary Archer Trust, aka the fictional person. Now, they define person in legalese And in the courts, a person is not defined as the human being you. It's defined as a fictional you, a corporate you, an organization that they are handling for you because you don't know that you are the trustee. Or, I'm sorry, I may have gotten that wrong. I will get this down by heart eventually. You are the beneficiary.
You turn white. The moment you, what's the word? Live man. What does this tell you about the judge? If we know that the judge is the trustee, then we know that the judge is the name. But only for this particular constructive trust, which is the case. Prosecution, it's a hearing, it's in the Inquisition. Now, think about all the times that the judge have become so frustrated by our refusal to admit to being the name that they issue a warrant, and then as soon as the man leaves, he is arrested. How idiotic is that? They must feel foolish for saying John Doe is not in the court, so I'm issuing a warrant for his arrest, and then the man whom they just admitted is not there, is arrested because he is there. That's how it works. This personal fiction is disgusting. Their desperation makes them insane. They must get us to admit to being the name, or they pay. Remember, he's got to bring his checkbook along, man, because he has to pay if he fails to shift